as Christopher Hitchens adduced. The discussion about what is good, what is beautiful, what is noble, and what is pure, and what is true, can always go on. Thank you for joining us as we strive to challenge and exemplify henceforth this so beautifully contemplated palatial essence of curiosity, free thought, and reflection, together inspired at this Fireside Chat. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I ran into some issues with the Google Hangouts, Google Meets, but I think it's all taken care of now. As soon as you try to get the professional account set up, it ends the current meetings that you have going. I didn't know Google Meets was doing this. In the past, they would let you go on for long periods of time. Anyway, we were talking about some things, Neil, and I appreciate everybody's patience with this as we get things, as we've got things back and running now. Thank you for coming back, everyone. And
there's nobody there except for me and.
That's okay. People will listen later. Now, there's some breaking news with Lavender Lady. It looks like she's. You had noticed that she's not doing very well, and I send my best wishes to her.
About 45 minutes ago, she started a stream that was titled "Pain," and we all know what she's going through currently. Her kidneys are pretty much failing. So if you can swing over there and give her some hearts or some love, just to let her know that there's lots of folks out here rooting for her. She's lying in bed and she's going on about stuff about how she hasn't had any videos out, and she's apologizing. She doesn't have to apologize. We know exactly what's happening with her, so there's no need ever to apologize for that sort of thing. So Diana, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but we love you. We hope that things turn around for you eventually, soon. Diana was one of the first people I met doing this stuff. So,
yeah. Well,
right there, still setting stuff up there, or what?
Yeah, no, I just was checking to make sure that the account came in properly, and it did. So here we are on part 2 of one of my first streams that has run into a few technical problems, but we're making progress. Thank you again, everybody, for your patience. So we were talking a bit about medicinal marijuana and how it had been helpful to people with Parkinson's.
Yeah, and the studies confirm it as well. So.
Yeah, the studies look like they're statistically significant, which is important for scientific studies, that they don't just try it with 12 people like Andrew Wakefield did with his fraudulent study on vaccines causing autism.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no link for that. But anyway, while we were off air, I remembered I had a friend when I lived in Ladner. Well, I had more than one, but there was a particular friend in that I'm mentioning had Parkinson's, and I remember him telling me that it definitely helps him. Because I saw him on the street corner. I guess he was coming back from something. He had his cane and everything, and he was shaky and stuff. And he goes, "Yeah, I'm just going home to smoke some weed." I'm like, "Does it really help?" He's like, "Yeah, oh yeah, it helps." So I completely forgot that I had spoken to him about that. Yeah, so I have more than one, but it was particularly good. What are you doing there?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just posting the link on Twitter so people can find us as well. So
I did that too.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. So it looks like folks are finding their way back. Welcome back, guys. We had issues. Randolph was trying to pay for having the Google Meets because somehow, for whatever reason, it was limiting him to an hour, and he put his credit card in. And as soon as he did that, it shit canned the stream.
Yeah, it just ended it.
So, but we're back.
So there were probably some things you were expecting to get into a little bit on the 420 and marijuana in Canada, and I'm wondering if I missed something that you wanted to get into a little bit with it.
Well, a lot of people ask, what's the significance of 420?
Oh yes, that's a good question.
And there's a lot of garbage out there that people are peddling around as what 420 was. The whole thing stems from, I think, originally a group of kids that got together every day at 20 after 4 to smoke weed. And that's pretty much where it started. So, yeah. And then all of a sudden they turned April 20th into Weed Day. That's going back a few years. And every year here in Vancouver, and it's going on right this minute, and one of the guys I work with is at it. He takes the entire week off for this thing. His name's Kevin, his buddy of mine. He's a weed aficionado. And he's there. It's the 420 day over in front of the Vancouver Art Gallery in Vancouver. And they have, I think, on the way home from work today, I was listening to Rock 101, which is our classic rock station that plays shit like, Pearl Jam and Nirvana and stuff, which is technically classic rock now. Boy, do I feel old. They were going on about, there was, I think, 50 different vendors down there selling all kinds of things, from clothing to edibles and to music. Often, I've been to a few of these 420 celebrations downtown, and there's even some little stands where guys are selling their CDs and stuff of their bands, local bands and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And at those things, I'm telling you, man, stone people will buy anything. They'll buy everything. So I never did it myself. I never took any of our stuff down there, but yeah, I've seen people down there with their wares of all sorts. Even some crazy thing like the people would, what do they call that? It's like clay, but you can make little figurines out of it and stuff.
Plasticine?
Not plasticine. No. This stuff hardens. Oh. There's a name for it. There's an actual name for it. It reminds me of the old the almond shit that used to be able to make. What? See, I can't remember shit these days, and I haven't even smoked anything yet. What the hell's it? It's almond flavored marzipan. It reminds me of marzipan, but it's type of, what the hell is this? Somebody nuke this Rike guy. Actually, I can do it.
Oh,
yep. Just hide him on the channel.
Oh, I have somebody in the chat having problems. They've been removed. Thank you for removing them.
I did it. You're welcome.
Yeah, our moderators haven't quite caught up yet. They're finding the new stream. I'm sure they'll be in there.
There were none but me.
You got it. I'm glad I set you up as a moderator in the past.
It started out with Vancouver as a dump.
Yeah, and then they flooded the chat. That's I don't like to stop people from posting things, but this one earned it. Banishments have to be earned. So
he earned it because there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them.
Yeah. That's okay. It's been fixed.
Yeah.
So
welcome back, folks.
So these events, if you ever do bring your band down there to sell them, let me know. I'll come and help out.
No, the whole band wouldn't come. I would just bring CDs to sell, right? But we only ever packaged the one. Hang on.
Yeah, so Neil's got a band called Luminous, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, I remembered correctly.
But the only CDs I have right now, we used to call ourselves Threshold, and we're going to get sued by a band in England who's called Threshold. They've been around since '93, and we recorded this in 2007. So
yeah, how nice of them, huh?
Well, it's their name. They actually trademarked it, so.
In England,
we were the one in England, not here, but it doesn't matter. I just for respect.
Yeah, you don't want to have a conflict with another band anyway,
right? So we changed the name to Limitless, but this was our first CD. Right there. Threshold. Right there. So little 6-song EP that we had.
Wow. It's all professional.
You can actually,
great.
Done at Ear Art Studios in Delta. My friend Tim Newhouse did it.
Okay.
Shane, what's a CD? It's like a flash drive, but it's shiny and circular.
Hello, Shane Billowitz.
We did it in 2007. Then we did a follow-up to that in 2013, where actually we did 2009 and then 2013 we did 2 3-song EPs. So we have a grand total of 12 tunes that have been professionally done, and we're going to get all our new stuff done as well. But it's going to be different from the stuff you're used to if you have been listening to our stuff, because our original guitar player Will passed away a few years ago. His brother, who was the bass player for the band, his knees just can't do it anymore. So we have a new bass player. His name's Mike. And our old bass player, Chris, who's actually was like a 4th addition to the band after a while. Like the 4th bass player we had, I think. He now became our guitar player. He's now the guitar player. Like, he's not like a super kind of guy, but he's very good at the bluesy stuff. So a lot of our newer tunes, as you know, Randolph, you've heard some of it, is more of a bluesier edged.
Yeah. I want to hear more.
In that sort of way. And we're going to record the stuff. There's some people really like a lot of the new stuff too. Like, everyone that's come and listened to it says, holy shit, you guys don't even have a bad song, which we try to strive for. We try to write stuff that's got some hooks and catchy sort of stuff to it. So I remember my friend Dawn Michaud, who's popped back into the after parties that I've had recently. He said, he said, we did a live stream from the jam space a little while ago, but I guess there's some form of noise reduction that happened. So every time you could hear us warming up to get into the song, and then it would kick in, and all of a sudden it would just be, you couldn't hear shit. Some sort of noise reduction thing kicked in. We didn't realize it, and then you look at the playback later, and it's like, yeah, that sucks. You can hear the nice little intros to all the music, and then we kick in, and then it just disappears.
Yeah.
So I'd like to try and do that again, but I'm going to have to talk with Mikey. I think I have Mikey live with us, and I can bring my computer in and figure out how to do it without the whole noise reduction thing ruining the stream. It may even be through YouTube that it's the issue. I don't know.
Well, I do know some people who have expertise in audio, and some of them have been giving me some tips lately on how to improve my own. So I'm sure they'd be happy to help you as well. I think one of them knows you. So yeah, that'll be, I'll tell you later, and then we'll get you hooked up.
Okay. I'd love to be able to do a live stream from one of our practices on a Saturday late morning that we usually do them now.
Yeah, the computer can do that. You've got the right microphone for it. I do too, and we got the same kind. And the
I wouldn't use this at the jam space.
No, okay. You want to do a direct hookup through the systems that you have?
No, just live off the floor.
Okay.
Right. So I could use a USB mic and plug it into the computer to pick up the ambience from the room.
Oh yeah.
But we wouldn't plug anything directly in. It would just be one microphone or maybe two. And because I've got a USB hub that I can use, and I could just get some USB plugs for the microphones.
Perfect.
You can buy them. You can buy them like the regular microphone plugs that have USB on the end of them. So that would be kind of cool if we could do that. The first time we tried it, like I was saying, you warm up, you hear the start of the song, and then all of a sudden the guitars would kick in and the drums would kick in, and everything just goes blank. You can't hear shit after that.
Yeah. That's strange that happened, because it should be consistent all the way through, I would think. So
should be, but like I say, there's noise reduction stuff, and that's what does it. Yeah. It hits a certain decibel, and then the noise reduction or noise cancellation or whatever just goes and shuts it down.
Okay. Yeah, and that's so. Yeah,
we couldn't figure out why it was happening. Was it YouTube that was doing it? Was it the computer programming? Was it because we were recording from the studio and going through Dawn's channel. I don't know what the hell happened.
Huh. Okay. Yeah, that's something to figure out. Yeah, Mikey will be able to help with that for sure. Yeah, and if I can help with some testing one day, just let me know. I can look from outside and see how it is for you.
Yeah, you haven't been to see us play in a long time, dude. We got a bunch of new songs.
Yeah, I want to hear them. Yeah, we'll have to get
two,
out
anyways.
There. Yeah.
And they're total atheism songs, too. You're going to love them.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah. You have any songs about marijuana?
No. No, but we do cover Sweet Leaf.
Sweet Leaf?
Yeah.
That's another band.
Black Sabbath song, Sweet Leaf.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I love you, Sweet Leaf.
Okay, I think I know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm always impressed with how well people know the different bands and the different names of the people in the bands, because when I listened to this when I was younger in the 80s and 70s, the radio DJs wouldn't even say the name of the song, let alone the band or who the singers were, and they'd just go one song to the next, and then they'd say, oh, on to the commercial break, and here we've got some more songs from you. They might mention one of the bands, and then you're hearing 5 more songs from different bands. This happened a lot on the local radio stations here.
I don't know what station you're listening to. CFOX always mentioned
it was CFOX did that a few times, and the other stations too, and it was just like, okay, I have no idea who just sung this, but it sounded great.
Completely unprofessional of them not to mention the band, because that's part of the sales pitch, is to be played on the radio and have them say, oh, that was a new track by blah 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 blah. That's it. You know what, I'm going to name my next band blah 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 blah.
Yeah. So it just seemed to be when I tuned in, I guess, that was going on. And yeah, Larry and Willie always were good about that. They always talked about what song it was. So they were back in CFOX in those days, and now they're on 101. Well, one of them is.
There's the raw tracks from
recorded at studio.
Recorded at studio. These are the raw tracks right here. So you could literally take these, load them into your computer, and remix the songs if you wanted to.
Oh, they've got all the different parts separated out, I guess.
Yeah, and this was one of the first ones we got. The second CD, that we did.
Yeah, it's like
we still hadn't changed the name, but there you go. That's Your Art Studios, right?
Like you could turn off all the drums, or you could put an extra echo on the guitars and stuff like that if you wanted.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, that's really great. Yeah. So I guess in the when it comes to these bands, I've noticed that the audience, you always smell marijuana in the audience, even especially rock.
You've been to a Black Crowes show?
Oh, okay. No, I haven't, but I went to a Roger Whittaker concert a long time ago with my dad, and this is folk music, and a few people toked up right in the Queen Elizabeth Theater. It was
oh yeah
yeah, it's a no smoking area, and they do it anyway. Those
yeah.
Yeah, it's just normal.
Been doing it for years. I remember going to the Pacific Coliseum or BC Place or Rogers Arena to see stuff, and people would light up.
Oh, of course.
You get caught though, you're going to get booted. But
yeah,
it'd be they do the here. I'll kind of show you what they do. They light up their doobie. They kind of go down. Most people now have those electric lighters that have that low flame, so you don't have the flame doesn't light up the room. So they get the little electric. It makes that little noise, and then they light them up, and they're like, and then they hold it here like this, and they keep it cupped, and they keep going to blow the smoke so it disperses quicker.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess this stuff's pretty common with the bands, but if as a band doing these performances, I guess some of them are going to find they want to light up before they go to perform, and others want to do it after performance only. Does that sound about right to you? Depends, different for each person.
There's times when I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking for this thing, if we play, I tend to not smoke when we play because it can dry out your throat, right? And it can fuck up my vocal. But there've been a couple of times where I'm like, you know what? I need to smoke one. So I go out and have a few puffs, and it helps. It gets you loosen up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I would do it at the studio all the time. While we're practicing, I would light it, have a few puffs, and then go and jam.
Yeah.
But there I've got water constantly going in case I get dry mouth or whatnot. So speaking of which, but yeah, I've never really done it when we play live. There have been a couple times I've had one too many brewskis, but nothing like drunk me singing. Titan finally found us again. Yeah, we had an issue, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, we had some unexpected technical issue with Google Meets. It seems their policies have changed, but we're up and running now, and it shouldn't be a problem because it's in the professional account mode now.
There you go. There you go. Now we're professionals.
Yes. Professionals talking about 420. What a way to start.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting how common marijuana is in so many different parts of life. There's a lawyer I supported many years ago. I came in to help him in his office on a weekend one day, and he's out in the balcony smoking marijuana.
Yeah,
having a good time. And I did not expect that this guy would be doing this. And it would be the last thing I would guess is a part of his life. And it just struck me at that point.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, it struck me at this point that this can be anybody. This is just so common, so normal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know two, and I won't mention their names. I know two police officers that are smokers.
I was at a party one time where people were smoking marijuana. Some police came in. I looked out the window. I saw them and I said, "Oh, the police are here." And then people panicked and they opened all the windows. Fans suddenly showed up out of nowhere. All away. People were panicking. There's like 20 people at this party. The beer and everything else stayed out, but all the marijuana disappeared. The smell was gone quickly. They were ready. And then the police come up, and one's carrying a 24 pack of beer or 12 pack of beer or whatever it was. And the other was just lighting up his marijuana. Says, "I thought there's supposed to be a party here." They're still in uniform, but they're off duty. This is in Vancouver. This happened.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, and then of course, immediately all the stuff comes back out and the fans go off. It's like magic how fast this stuff happened. But I asked them partway through the party, I said, "How many police are smoking marijuana?" I was much younger than just a kid back then. So I had no idea how many police use it. And one of the officers, he said, probably about 50%, and turns to his partner and she says, "Yeah, about half. That sounds about right." So
but smoke it? Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
Half the
people are people. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. If you like the stuff, you like the stuff, right?
And then just carry on as if it's not a big deal. So it's like, okay, it's everywhere.
When I was a kid, I got some funny stories to tell you about my marijuana escapades.
Sure.
When I was a kid, I tried it. I think for the first time, I was still in high school, junior high. I think it was in grade 8. And the first time I ever tried it, my friend Rob and I skipped class. And he's like, "My dad lives down the road. Let's go over there. He's not home. We'll sneak into his house." And he did the old, I guess him and his dad weren't seeing eye to eye at the time. So he had to break into his dad's house. So he did the credit card trick in the back door where you pop the lock, and we sat in there, and he found his dad's stash. So we started smoking doobies at his dad's place. And that's the first time I ever smoked the stuff. And I remember the cat, his dad's cat, loved marijuana and used to, if he smelled it in the house, he would come sit by the people smoking right between you, like on the arm of the chair or whatever you were sitting on. He'd sit right between you, and you could see him lifting his head because he wanted to smell or inhale the smoke. And after a while, he would just be like, he'd have that stoned cat look lying on the floor. It's like, "Hey guys, smoke more," that kind of thing, right? Which I always thought was kind of funny. But I don't really remember. I remember the first time I tried it, I don't remember feeling it hit me. Right? I'm like, I don't feel anything. What is this work? Is this real? But then, about 20 minutes, half hour into it, all of a sudden you're like, "Oh yeah, okay, now I feel it." and I didn't know what to expect, so I didn't know what I was looking for, right? But yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And then I did it for years. Probably from about the age of 14 through to about 18. And then I noticed that it was probably just the shitty, janky stuff I was getting, but it started giving me headaches. So I quit doing it. And I think I was about 24 when I picked it up again. I started dating this gal when I was working at Sam the Record Man, a record store here in Canada.
It was a popular store, yeah.
Yeah. And I started smoking it again, and I haven't stopped since. So that was a long time ago. But that's back in the days of like Lollapalooza
Yeah.
and stuff like that, where we used to go to those all the time. Oh man, I remember one of the Lollapaloozas we were at. I think it was the one that Primus was at, and there's this kid in the audience, and I don't know what he was on, but I was like, "Shh, I want some of that," because he's going through the mosh pit like this, because they were playing Old Diamondback Sturgeon, right? Which is the name of the
the fish look. Yeah,
yeah. So he's doing the fish look through there.
Something's fishy there.
One little, I guess it's not really a weed story because it wasn't really weed.
Well, the cat you mentioned earlier, I guess, had a higher standard than catnip, as you could say as well.
Yeah. But anyway, I remember we were trying to sell some weed. We were getting into the business, so to speak. Except we were rolling up doobies with like parsley in them and trying to sell them to kids. And then my buddy's mom found the little cigarette pack I had with some of the doobies in there, and she called my dad. My dad came over as I was staying over at my buddy's place, and he's like, what the hell is this? Marijuana now? It's like going on and on. And I'm like, and they're freaking out and they're yelling and screaming at me and my buddy. And I'm like, it's just, stop. And I couldn't get a word in edgewise because, and he's like, he's going to raise his arm and smack me across the head or something. I'm like, whoa, dude, chill out. I just stopped. I'm like, chill the fuck out. And they're like, what? Smell it again. So they smelled it again. I'm like, it's not marijuana. Well, what is it? It's fucking parsley. We were trying to scam some kids. He's like, my dad just started howling with laughter.
Wow.
He goes, Jesus, I was just about to smack you across the head. I'm like, I know. That's why I stopped you.
Did the kids fall for it?
Yeah, I think we sold a few.
Oh my gosh.
$5 a joint or something at the time.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was pretty funny. I gotta say that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
DeFreak says, "Get mashed pit." Well, buddy, I'm like pretty much 6'5". I don't get mashed in mosh pits. I'm the guy doing the mashing. This is one kid. We were at I think it's the one that had Soundgarden and Pearl Jam at it, and he's like this little guy, he's a little skinhead kid. He comes right up to me. He goes, "Dude, throw me up." I'm like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to get up," because they do the body surfing thing. So I fucking launched this kid about 30 feet into the air. Sailed straight up into the air and came down, and he's like, "Yay!" And all of a sudden the crowd went, and he just hit the ground. I'm like, "Holy fuck!" And I ran over. I picked him up. He's like, I'm fine.
No.
You think you're fine now, but you're going to be at the hospital like cracked ribs.
Yeah. Well, that's terrible.
Sure? You sure? Yeah, I know. I was like, poor kid. But he got up and he started slam dancing and stuff. I'm like, okay, he seems to be fine. Poor little guy. It was really rainy for that one, and what they had done. This is at Thunderbird Stadium at UBC, and what they'd done is they'd put wooden plywood planks on the ground so that it wouldn't get soft and muddy.
Okay.
Well, guess what happened to the planks? They were used to have people surfing on top of the crowd. So they'd like 5 or 6 people on these panels, and they'd be picking the kids up off the ground like this with the wooden panels, and they passed the whole panel around over top of the crowd. They had like 2 or 3 of them going. But they tried, I think, if I remember correctly, they tried with more than like 5 or 6 people, and they couldn't hold it up. So they said limit of like 5 or 6 people. Then they were passing the plywood boards around with people dancing on top of the plywood boards, which was I'd never seen that before.
That's amazing.
That same concert, my buddy Todd thought it would be a good idea to bring some fruit with him. He had like a little knapsack with some fruit, like apples, oranges, and bananas. I think he brought with him, and he's like, well, we'll just leave him on the side, and someone can sit with them. Nobody wanted to sit there. They all wanted to be in the mosh pit and get involved. So poor Todd's moshing in the mosh pit with a bag of fucking oranges and apples, and he didn't notice it, but the back zipper thing was open and everything started falling out.
Oh no.
So it's now known as the infamous fruit salad mosh pit. So basically people are bouncing around all over the
I guess all the fruit got crushed, didn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think there's like a banana and an apple left.
Oh, at least
the rest of them were just gone.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Those mosh pits get really crowded, I hear.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, some of the best days and we used to drive up to Whistler in the summertime and just sit at the bar there and drink tons of beer. and watch the guys. There was a square they have there. We've probably seen it right in the center of Whistler.
Okay.
They set up a volleyball net, and these guys had hacky sacks, and they were volleying hacky sacks over the volleyball net back and forth. These guys were unfreaking believable. These guys are jumping upside down and booting, and I'm like, holy fuck! I wish I could play that good. But we used to sit and play hacky sack while we were there for hours and hours and hours. Nerdy
rodent.
Yeah.
Always hang 20. Happy 2104-2022. Looking in a different time zone.
I'm thinking, yeah. It's still 4:20 here, buddy. Here. Yep. No, DeFreak, that was not his mommy's idea. His mommy had long passed. Actually, his mother abandoned him at a bus station.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was picked up by one of his cousins that lived out this way and lived with them.
So, well, those are interesting stories. That cat, that's an interesting.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I've heard of somebody who tried smoking catnip one time. They said, "Don't ever do that.
No,
it's really bad." Apparently,
like we tried to do that one time, and it just kills your lungs. You're just like pieces of lung are flying out. You're coughing so much, I wouldn't fucking be surprised if one of my shoes flew out.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, it's really bad to smoke then. Okay.
Oh yeah, we tried that, and we did the old tried the smoked banana peel thing because apparently banana peel's a good try. However, I have seen I think it was TikTok where there's this guy who takes banana peels and cuts them so they're long strips like this, scrapes all the banana out of it so they're just the peels, then he marinates them in this concoction, and then he pan fries them, and he goes, "This is like bacon. This is banana bacon, they call it." And he's handing it out to his buddies. They're like, "Yeah, I'll be the judge of this." And they start eating. They're like, "Holy crap! It actually tastes like fucking bacon, and it has the crispiness and everything like bacon." I'm still not going to eat it because who the fuck eats banana peels? That's why you peel them off.
So they make it taste like bacon, but it's not bacon.
Wow. It's not bacon, but it looks like bacon too, because I guess there's a certain stage of the peel where it's got kind of the browny stripes on it and stuff. And when you fry it and it gets all crispy, apparently whatever it is that he marinates it in includes all kinds of like seasoning salts and stuff or whatnot.
Yeah.
But it tastes like bacon, apparently. Banana bacon, they call it.
Interesting invention. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, so did you have anything else you'd like to add before we start up with the open mic? Like some final words about the 420 movement and what people are doing with marijuana and where you think it may be headed in the future as an industry?
It'll be what it is. Like marijuana is just, it's already a booming industry and has been for years, right? There are many countries that have had it legal for a long time.
Do you think it's going to change once big tobacco gets into it? Because they've obviously got their eyes on it.
Big tobacco? Of course they're just going to... Who do you think makes these, dude?
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
I mean, big tobacco's already got their fingers in it. They have marijuana tobacco mix ones now you can buy.
Oh.
Yeah, because a lot of people do that so that they don't go through their weed so quickly. I've known at least 4 or 5 people myself that would take a little bit of tobacco and then the rest of it all marijuana, and they would roll it together because it just helps your marijuana last a little longer. Thank you, Canadian truckers. What? Not those fucking clowns.
I think most Canadian truckers
are on anti-vaxxer dumbasses.
No, most of the Canadian truckers are fine. They're not anti-vax. It's just a few that are.
I know. Well, we had some rolling down the street just a little while ago here.
That was back in February.
I'm curious, DeFreak, which god are you asking to bless them? Because there are literally millions of them. Fuck, there's millions alone in Hinduism.
I think I'm going to, please, I'm just opening up the stream. I've put the link into the chat. People are welcome to join us, and I will want to make sure that I know who I'm bringing on before we bring you on. But I think I know most of the people who are here already.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, so the link is there for anybody who'd like to join. And I think there were a few people earlier expressing some interest in and sharing some of their own reflections on marijuana and the 420 movement. And Neil, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you on this. Thank you for being here on my first stream for this series that I'm calling the Fireside Chat.
I could have come to your house and we could have did it from there.
That would have been great. Yeah, we should do that next time. This was all put together on a bit of a rush because I was approaching 420 subscribers, and then I ended up with 420 because I ended up getting a boost of a bunch more from last weekend's stream, where we have people come in and challenge to convince any of us on the panel that a god or a goddess exists. And so that was interesting to me, because the subscriber count shot up about 5 or 6 to 420. You have a lot more subscribers than I do, but you've been running a show a lot longer than me too, and you're putting out quality content on a regular basis, a couple times.
422 subscribers now. Randall.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, it's climbing up again, which is great. Thank you, everyone, and. If people do want to join, there are I'll just pin the message at the top of the chat here for people. So as I said, there were people who were interested in joining us, but I guess if nobody does, we'll probably wind down and do another one of these streams in the future. You had mentioned Nicholas was asking about the True North talk. People asked me about it as well. We have roof and walls and part of the subfloor built, and next we're going to be putting the door on and starting to finish up some of the insides of the area that's designated for this. So I'm hopeful that we'll be able to get a good stream going with that. And it's something I really do want to do, and I know you do too. And we'll be able to do this. And I think we'll have a really good show. We'll have people. We'll give them time to explain their perspective, and then go from there.
Tonight, you mean?
Sorry,
tonight, you mean?
Oh, it's not going to be ready tonight. No.
That join us. Oh.
Oh no, people can join us right now in this if they want to. There were people earlier who expressed an interest in doing that, but we may have lost them with the stream breakup, unfortunately. So
I just texted Ollie. So.
Oh, great. Yeah, if he'd like to join in. And I know he has a fantastic pipe, like Lord of the Rings Gandalf size pipe. Yeah, and he's demonstrated that on your stream quite a few times.
Yeah,
so.
I have one too. I just don't know where it is. It's not like his. Mine's a different style, but yeah, it's a long one too. I think I see. Yeah, here it is. I still haven't gotten a screen for it yet, but there you go.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've seen this before.
Yeah. Order in a court. Order me some more weed.
A judge could have that on their bench and nobody would know the better.
So you can clean it.
Except the people who have that very pipe themselves.
Yeah. Exactly. Ollie says he's on his way.
Oh, great. Well, then we'll just hang around for a moment for that. And so I've been putting a lot of time into the introduction video and trying to figure out just the right wording to use for it. So I have a few other ideas for different regular streams I'd like to do, well, semi-regular, and I have different kind of starting stuff for each of those. And when's your next practice with your band?
Probably not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Oh, okay.
We didn't do last Saturday because Chris went and did some Easter stuff with family, and then this coming Saturday, I have a celebration of life to attend, and also I'll probably be heading out to Mission because my dad's back from Mexico and he's up at my sister's place, so I'm gonna probably head there.
And I see that Ollie is here. Thank you,
Ollie.
Hey.
Canadian Ollie man is here. I hope the audience can see him.
You look ripped, buddy.
I've been smoking all afternoon, brother. Got off work at 1:00 my time, and it's what? I don't even know what fucking time it is right now.
Probably like
Sorry, 10 o'clock.
10-ish.
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Yep. So I've been going steady. So you wanted to see me smoke out of my pipe? Oh, well,
Yeah.
here's my bubbler.
The bubbler. Wow. That makes
I think I got a
putting on-
contact high from that.
That is interesting.
I gotta get some fucking screens so I can start using this thing. And every time I go into like a smoke shop, I'm like, I know there's something I need. What do I need? And I can never remember.
I have this. Can you see the alien holding the eyeball?
Oh
Yes.
wow, that
Right.
looks like that's a work of art.
Yeah.
Let's try some out of this one.
That's really neat. Do you?
I can't smoke in here.
What is it that you're smoking there today, Ollie?
This is King Bubba that I'm smoking. It's an indica.
An indica.
Which is what
Okay.
I prefer to smoke.
You like to relax. I can see that.
Yeah, it's about 26% THC.
Yeah, it's that's a high one. That's a high one. I remember I was telling you the highest I ever smoked was 38. So
you told me 40 was
huge.
That's really
That's
big.
Huge. Yeah.
It's this guy grew it himself.
Normally you need to get some sort of concentrate to get up in those levels.
Well, so. I don't know what he did, but he mixed a couple of different things and
he concentrated.
The hash that's in there is around 40%, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I also have this hand grenade pipe.
Don't pull the pin. It's an explosive weed.
So how does that one work?
Well, it's got a hole at this end. It's got a hole at that end, and you got the bowl there in the middle. So
okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't holding that high enough. So a hole there and a hole there, bowl in the middle. So
okay.
You plug that.
Oh, so you have to pull the flame in. I got it. Okay, and then it's going. All right.
Yeah. And then once it's going, you release that, and it just lets the air carry through.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's.
I wonder if the freak knows that Revelations is a late addition to the Bible. It was actually considered blasphemy before they decided. I think it was the Council of Nicaea that decided it would be put to good use for scaring the shit out of people and added it to the Bible.
And hopefully you can see this one. Do you see?
Yeah, no. What is that? I have no idea. What is that?
Can you see it though? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's got the bowl on the other side of it, right?
Nice.
Okay.
So right at the top of your thumb here is where the breather hole is. So you got to plug that with your hand, and then the other hole is right up here at the end of the finger.
Okay.
So.
Oh, it's not a double one?
No.
Yes, Scapegoat. Revelation was almost rejected because they considered it to be blasphemous. But they decided they saw the usefulness of it. Because that's where all the talk about hell, which isn't even in the original fucking books anyways. That's where all the talk about burning in hell and all the shit started to be put into it. So they realized that they could use it to manipulate and scare the shit out of people. No. So they added it as part of the canon.
This next pipe used to be my absolute favorite that I went to all the time to use.
Okay.
So, like you can see, it's a definite Sherlock shape. It's got this little metal post so that it can stand up for you, right?
Okay.
If you look on the front of it,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lion, right? You can tell that's a lion.
Yeah,
sort of.
And since we were talking about religion, that says Lion of Judah. It's what it seems to be. So
Judah, Lion of Judah.
Yeah.
And we have one more joining us here.
It's a definite Sherlock shape. It's got this little
who has to mute the stream.
Okay, Feather.
Right. Okay. If you look on the front of it,
it's cool. All right, Feather. You'll need to turn off your stream in the background, and then I can unmute you. Oh, you'll have to unmute yourself once you've got that taken care of. I can't unmute you. So
you were also asking to see my Gandalf pipe, right?
yeah, that one is interesting. I'm kind of a Lord of the Rings fan, so I do find it interesting.
As I asked you earlier, though, which one?
Oh, that's why you asked.
Which one?
So one's for
now you're just showing off.
Grey. One's for Gandalf the Grey, and one's for Gandalf the White. Is that right?
Sure.
You could say that, but I bought 2 of them because it got me free delivery, and I said if I ever break one, then I'll have a backup.
And you decided to go for a variety of colors. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's very nice. Wow. Yeah. Those look really neat. You're in Eastern Canada. What is your perspective on the legalization of marijuana in Canada? How have things gone there for everybody?
It was a late October birthday for me back in 18. That's all I could say to that. It was like, finally, after all these years, finally. Oh, there nice jar. I have the same size jar, but currently it's not full.
It's just like Feather is showing us some marijuana.
Right.
And you've got a similar jar with similar stuff in it.
Yeah, it's right. So
yeah, it's kind of boxy.
My jar's not for.
Yeah, Feather's jar is clearer, so I'm guessing it's newer.
I have a brand new jar that I've only used once too, but it's currently empty because I emptied it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that stuff doesn't last. It's like cookies and candies when you've got children around. They don't last.
This is Southern California. We buy it by the pound down here. This is not all I have. But
you know how much it is an ounce when you buy it by the pound?
I can only tell you what the pound price is because that's what I pay.
A pound is at 16 ounces.
Yeah, 16 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I guess it's about $100 an ounce. It's really good. Like this is pretty frosty.
Yeah. So you said it's about $100 American an ounce.
When you buy it with the way the prices are right now, yes, because it was this would have been $3,600 5 years ago, and now the price.
I agree with you. Oh, I agree with you.
16.
I got to tell you,
£1,600. Yep.
2 months ago, a little less than that actually, because it's when did I get it? Beginning of March, I think it arrived here. I ordered half a pound, $47 Canadian an ounce.
Yeah, that's really good.
That's $30.
We grew it on our side of Canada though.
So and the thing is that was delivered to me by Canada Post. I live in Prince Edward Island. They shipped it from British Columbia.
Yeah, that's what people are telling me is that you have like a free postal system to move the stuff.
It's not free.
And really helps.
It's not free.
But you can sorry, qualifying. You can move it freely through your postal service. You have to pay a fee in order to. Yes,
correct.
That's what I meant. That's.
Yeah, I think the reason that the postal service is used is because they'll actually check for IDs when they get someone to sign. A lot of the private couriers will just drop it off and just ask somebody verbally. They won't actually ask for ID.
It just gets locked in my mailbox. I go pick it up.
Wow!
No sign for it, nothing.
Oh, so that's not correct. What I heard. Okay.
Yeah, it used to be what you're saying. But ever since COVID started, they stopped asking for signatures, so they went the other way.
Oh yeah, COVID-19 has caused that. So maybe you have
to produce ID is what you have to do now.
Yeah. So you used to have to go down to the post office and pick it up at the post office and produce ID, but now they're just putting it right in my mailbox. So I like showing this one off. I don't like using it very often, but you can see it's test tube shaped, right? So it's the same idea as the grenade. There's a hole in either end of it, right?
Okay.
So you pack your bowl in there. Now, if you see what this blue thing is in here, I'm not sure if you can make out what that is.
It's a dragon.
A dragon.
Yeah, it's a dragon. So when you hit it here, the smoke comes out of the dragon's mouth, and you can see a line of smoke going directly to you when you're hitting.
Wow.
That's
right?
That's so creative.
So the problem is they made it so thin right here. It's so choky right there it clogs up almost immediately. It's hard to use, right? But it's a beautiful idea and working pipe, but it's a one shot, and then you're hoping that you can clear it.
They need bigger bandwidth there.
Yeah, they need to make everything twice as big.
Oh wow, yeah.
But just have a safety pin with you so you can unclog it.
Well, yeah. Sometimes, but sometimes you get stuck in there too. So is there a way you can put me big screen or something? I'll try and show you this if you want.
Yeah, I could do that.
A layout.
Yeah. Let's see, where are we here?
You go up to somewhere where it's okay, like a solo layout.
Feather, thank you for joining us. I see you're showing us a lot of interesting supplies that you have.
It's just a blue screen now.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a sky.
I don't recognize the name you're calling me by though, but yeah.
You're here under Feather
Cressman.
Oh Christ! You telling me I fucking didn't set my Google thing right? Oh man.
Layout.
Wonderful. Well, that's that secret out of the bag.
Was that not supposed to be known?
That was not supposed to be known. No, it's not something I announce with the type of work I do.
So this is
this is
spotlighting who's ever talking. So Ollie, when you start talking, and you'll be spotlighted.
Oh, so it's gonna make me big screen when I'm talking. It doesn't seem to.
Yeah, you won't see it on your side, but whoever's talking fills up the screen right now.
Okay, because it's kind of hard to talk and hit the pipe at the same time, just so you know. So.
Oh yeah, you'll still see yourself, but just know that when you're talking, it's going full screen. It's fine.
That might be lighting up my mic.
Okay, so what are you doing here?
There you go. Yeah, it does. It looks like the smoke's coming out of the dragon's mouth.
Wow. Okay. That didn't look like it quite went as planned.
It did.
It was a really big hit.
I can see right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. I can see.
Yeah, I forgot. It gives a really, really big hit. Oh.
Wow.
All these dying people. He's dying.
And I've been smoking solid for fucking 9.5, 10 hours. Yeah. Woo. Good to go, though. Good to go. Rock and roll.
Wow.
It's not midnight yet.
So how do you
short-term memory loss?
How do you think things were? How are things affected in your society in your part of Canada when things became legal? Because I remember here people were worried that suddenly people are going to be smoking everywhere. It's going to just destroy everything, and that didn't happen. No. Well, basically nothing changed is what it looks like overall.
Yeah, exactly.
For the first couple of months, we smelled a lot more marijuana, and then it went back to normal. Is basically what we saw here.
Oh, people just you don't have to be afraid to smoke it in public anymore. That's all.
Yeah.
That's basically it. You don't have to be afraid to smoke it in public anymore. And honestly, things for me were as normal, except my prices went down a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
I still didn't go to the pot store because pot store was ridiculously expensive. $10 a gram, and you buy an ounce, $280 an ounce. It's like, no. I go to the guy that I've been seeing. He's been charging me $185, and now that it's legal, he's down to $165. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep going where I'm going.
Maybe it's
and then when I discovered, hey, I can order it from BC for $130, and then $130 went down to $100.
Wow.
And then that went down to 70. And like I said, now it's down to 47.
For a half ounce.
For an ounce. For an ounce, 47.
What?
I had to order a half a pound deal. But it was $47 an ounce.
When you buy in bulk, like
order a half a pound, yeah.
Yeah, because it's just one shipment instead of a bunch of little shipments. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was ordering a QP once every month anyway, so why not order a half P once every 2 months?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got people now selling it openly in the markets instead of having to sell it in the black markets, and
There's
so
still a black market too.
Well, yeah, and
yeah.
so taxes being collected. This is good for general revenue for our country. We've got more funding for all our services now. This is great. Like, it seems pretty good because people are going to buy this stuff anyway. So, you know, if it can be legalized, this is a really big benefit for everybody.
Exactly.
And less crime because people don't have to sneak around. Yeah.
People don't have to sneak around.
$47 in U.S. currency is probably close to $60. Scapegoat.
60?
US? No, the other way. The other way. 47 Canadian is about $30 American, isn't it? 32, 34.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It gets confusing with the currency sometimes. It's easy to calculate the wrong way.
Well, it changes every day. Little bits, but it changes. Currency is always fluctuating up and down. Of course, our interest rates or inflation rates here in Canada jumped up.
That's
$30 American, isn't it? 32. Oh, echo.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Echo.
Yeah, that's okay. It's taken care of now.
Cool.
Still the same name too, by the way.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah,
and it looks like mine just says you. Does mine just say you?
Mine says you to me, but yours says Canadian Olliman to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
To everybody. So that's how it goes. Yeah, the Google account will need to be updated if you want to do that. I'm curious to hear how this is in the U.S. because I know in the U.S. there are places where it is legal and places where it isn't, and I guess California it's legal. So yeah, but I know
Colorado. There's a few states where it's legal.
Yeah, and I know that going cross border it's a problem because federally that's where the restrictions are.
Well, it's legal in Washington State too.
Okay, yeah, but crossing the international border is problematic.
Yeah, you can't cross the borders, I don't think.
If you produce evidence that it is government bought, you can take it across.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it can't be. You can't bring like a pound with you. I got a couple of joints rolled up, and they'll probably be like, "Go ahead."
As long as you have
quote me on that. But
you can. Isn't it 30 grams?
No,
you can carry up to. I'm pretty sure that's what it is here. Legally,
on your person here, 30 yes,
30 grams.
Yes, yeah.
So that's probably what you're allowed to cross the border with, then, too.
No,
not that much. Oh,
no. A couple of grams you could probably get away with. But.
So if I'm ever coming to the States for any of my American friends, you got to hook me up.
Yep, there you go. I didn't even try to take it to Texas. I flew to Texas, right? So, and it looks like I'll be heading to.
I wouldn't try and cross the border with anything. That's just stupid.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I hesitate to travel to the States. Is I don't want to get out of the weed zone.
Hang on here.
Yeah,
June 25th, 26th.
Legalizes it. Sorry, where are you going on the 25th, 26th?
To Better, the thing that Oz is putting on.
Yeah, he's running quite an event there. It's a good one. He knows how to organize those things and run a really good show. So I expect it'll be quite good. So yeah, you'll have a good time. I wish I could go. I can't make it to those things. I want to, but it's just there's too much here. I have to prepare. I can't get away.
If you had enough time, you could prepare to do it. You know that, right?
I got to get my passport updated. I haven't had my passport updated since I lived in Ontario, so I really got to get my passport updated.
Yeah, passports are the right thing to have when you're crossing a border, even driving over, because customs understands passports really well, so it makes it really easy for them.
I don't think you're allowed to get into the States now without them.
That's right. You even need them driving.
Yeah. So
yeah, because I remember for a while people were able to go in just with a driver's license.
Most of the time, they'll let you through, but you should have your passport with you.
Yeah. I don't
They
take a
can
chance.
take your driver's license and they can scan it and they'll get all whatever information they need from you.
Yeah.
The magnetic strip, right? And the borders are the only place where they can actually go into your, well, in Canada, once you reach the age of consent, which is, what is it, 18 here?
I think so.
Sounds right.
That's when you can vote and whatnot. So once you reach that age, your juvenile records are sealed here in Canada until you go to the border. They can get to your juvenile records at the border.
Oh.
A friend of mine was denied entrance because of something he did when he was 14 years old. Stole a car at Lansdowne Mall. So, yeah, and they were able to see it. And he's like, "Wait, what? I thought our records are sealed up here once you reach age of consent." And we were already in our late 20s, early 30s at the time, and they wouldn't let him through. And he just threw a shit fit, and they almost threw him in jail.
Yeah, it'll probably be the same at airports for him because that's federal jurisdiction, right? So.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, that's not handled by the individual provinces and territories here. So
they almost kept his car and they almost threw him in jail. I'm like, dude, calm the fuck down. We'll talk about this after. And he did. And we left. And I go, you realize you could have just spent the night in Guantanamo Bay for fuck's sakes, pal. Not really, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Trying to get scared
I have
straight.
a question for the panel.
Hey.
Go.
Do any of you guys have mandatory lab testing?
You mean like job related?
No. Lab testing of the of your product of this.
No. Well, I don't. Maybe if you're a seller, you might. If you're officially licensed, you might. I don't know.
Well, we do have Health Canada regulations, but I don't know how active the testing is on these things. And we have the Competition Bureau as well that regulates that products must be advertised accurately and must be presented accurately. And then they can take action and they can levy some pretty hefty fines in the hundreds of thousands of dollars and right off the bat. And that can also go into prison time. That gets covered under similar to the criminal code. It can be a serious problem. So the health regulations are quite stringent here for things like that. But usually, I think they just do a few spot checks from time to time. They're not. No.
In order to have a license to retail marijuana in Canada, your product does have to be checked and regulated. So
sorry, I'm thinking of the import. You're right. Yeah. Well, that's good then. That's good that testing is going on. So is that what you meant by lab testing?
Yes, because you're somebody just shared a price with me, and I was kind of shocked to hear that Canada has lab tested product for that cheap, because lab tested product over here goes for quite a bit more than that when it's broken up into little bits and sold out of the stores.
All I can say is they advertise what the name of the weed is, and they advertise what its THC content is, and then when you figure out the price, that's what it comes out to. So
Right.
I think a lot of the foods, there's all these stringent requirements, and they list the different percentages of different ingredients in them and whatnot, and vitamin levels and stuff like that, and so you know what you're getting, but and sugar is there and sodium, depending how much is there. If it's over a certain tiny amount, then they have to disclose it. And I believe, like I've heard that they do random spot checks on the products, but they're not checking everything. But maybe marijuana is quite different.
Yeah,
it's probably about the same. It's random spot checks. They're probably like testing the beginning, the end, and a bunch of places in the middle, and but not the whole thing, right? So
yeah, I was just curious if you had to do like mold and mildew, bugs. You know what I mean? Like whether they were doing
common issues.
Huh?
There's all kinds of regulations where they're grown illegally.
Yeah.
They watch all that shit. So yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're in California, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Is that do they do the testing there that you're talking about?
Yeah, but it seems to have screwed up sort of the whole industry. It's put a big because it's put a big it's put a big differential between what the stuff goes for over the counter, right? And when it's lab tested and it's in these silly little baggies. And honestly, when I bought it from the dispensary that way, I was just really not impressed with what I got versus what it said was in it. as far as strain and also content as far as percentage, right? I didn't feel like I was, stuff was labeled at 23 or 24, and I would have been shocked if it was like 12,
Oh,
Okay.
really?
And
So they don't adhere to the regulation on that.
I'm thinking that the labs are dirty down here. And because the labs are dirty, they're charging a lot to do the testing, and that sort of trickles upward, right, with the cost for the dispensaries. And they're still trying to sell it for the same price as they were back in, like, what was it, 96 or 97 when they first had legal stores here.
Mhm.
And that's not the way it worked, right? It started off at $65 an eighth to start, right? But then it went all the way down to 35 or even 25 an eighth.
Mhm.
That's for an eighth of an ounce. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now, now, now we're back up to $65 an eighth, and they're all justifying. Yeah. And nobody, and look, what's going to happen? The practical upshot is that nobody's going to buy it out of the stores anymore.
Nope.
They're going to go directly to a legal grower and set up a special deal, which is what I've done.
That's what he does.
There's no way that I'm going to go to a store and pay that amount. I would go broke.
Well, that's just it. I'm not buying it at any of the places local to me because, like I said, the prices are still stupid. If I went into the pot store that's in town, I'd be paying 150, 175 bucks an ounce.
Yeah.
That's what the prices are now. Right? So that, which is comparable with what you're talking about when you do the American Canadian translation.
I think
right?
so. Yeah.
So, but the thing is, out in BC, they've had the industry so much longer, and there's so much more competition, so that the places that you go online and order it from can just give it to you at that much better price.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just they've been so much longer in business because BC's been doing it in BC since what the late 80s, early 90s through mail order.
Since the 70s, my friend.
70s?
Yeah.
Through mail order, right?
I think, but it was harder to find back then.
Yeah,
Mail order.
but that's just around BC. But now that they're allowed to ship to the whole country, it's like a whole new ballgame.
Yeah, BC Bud was, specific strains of BC Bud was winning the Cannabis Cup for years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, there's no question. It's definitely got a big green maple leaf up there for sure.
I remember people telling me that in countries like Holland that there are marijuana shops for decades now that have in the
Amsterdam.
top items of their menu, BC Bud is listed there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. No.
We're all over the world.
Oh no, and we smoke it in Southern California too. Don't get me wrong. And we've
you guys could grow our strains down there too.
We've bred off of BC Bud, and BC Bud is actually one of the, sort of base plants that are making some of these exotic hybrids, like that purple stuff I was holding up earlier is called ice cream cake, and it's like
I've had that stuff. It's good.
I've had that.
Gelato.
I've tried that.
Yeah. And then the other jar, this one here this is wedding cake. So
I didn't have wedding cake bud, but I had a wedding cake vape. So I have tried the strain, but it's not quite the same.
Before legalization here, the joke that went around because all the marijuana had to be grown secretly indoors, people would say, "Why is BC Bud better than all these other places?" And the joke is because it's all grown indoors here.
Oh, this is all indoors. What I'm holding up right now is definitely indoor.
It's always better to grow indoor.
I don't have multiple different strains at one time. Like I said, when I got to order in bulk, so I got a whole bunch to last me a couple of months.
Yeah.
Of one particular strain, or can you mix it?
Yeah. No, I can't mix and matching at the price.
Oh,
it has to be all the same.
You need a new guy.
I don't know about that.
I'm fucking with you, dude. I'm just kidding. You're stoned, so you're easy to fuck with right now.
Yeah. And the thing is, the hash, I get it from the same place. The hash, it's what was it, $3.67 a gram, $3.67 a gram.
Oh wow, that's stupid cheap.
And that's Canadian dollars, by the way.
Yeah. So
$1.80 for you.
what it really sounds like is that the whole industry was able to go through an entire maturation process, and that you've maybe worked through a lot of those regulatory problems that California right now, it's kind of a make or break thing, because dispensaries are going out of business left and right because there's such a huge disparity between what they can buy wholesale if they know a guy who knows a guy versus what they have to pay, at a licensed shop.
Another dead soldier.
Market that Neil was just alluding to a little bit. Yeah. And something's settling in for you there, my friend. I'm getting a little tired.
Me? No, not yet. I'm good to go for a while yet. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you can tell. Can you see how deep the bowl is on that one?
Yep.
It
you can put like
literally the bottom.
You could put like 1.5 grams to almost 2 grams in that pipe.
Oh yeah.
So drop a dime in there and wait and hear it hit the bottom, right?
I packed that pipe back at 420 Beck's time and started smoking it then, and I've been hitting it regularly, and I just finished it now. Was that much in it, but I mean, I've been hitting all these other pipes at the same time. So
just showing off your pipe collection.
Well, it's Randolph's fault. He's the one that said, "Are you going to bring your favorite pipe?" And I right away it was like, which one? And which got me thinking, okay, I could pull out the 2 different Gandalfs, and then it's like, well, which one really is my favorite pipe? So I pulled out a whole bunch of pipes.
Right? I have like 3 pipes. That's it.
Sorry, Neil, what was that?
I said I have like 3 pipes. That's it.
Yeah.
This one which I haven't even never used yet.
Pipes.
And I got a small glass one about yay big and a teeny tiny glass, a little pocket pipe. You can stick a nug in there and just get a few hoots and you're good to go. Except the little teeny tiny one heats up so fast, man. Like you're like,
glass, yeah.
Ow, 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 ow. Okay,
dude, invest the $15 and get yourself one of those vulcanized rubber pipes.
Vulcanized rubber?
Yes.
I'm not going to drive on the fucking thing. What do I need vulcanized rubber for?
It doesn't burn. It'll never break. It doesn't get hot. You can get a tiny fucking little one that's that fucking big. It doesn't get hot. When it gets dirty,
so I'm not really that worried about it.
When it gets dirty, you throw it in the fridge. Once it gets all frozen and hard, you just go, and all the stuff inside of it is crystallized, shatters, and falls out of it. It's that easy to clean.
Wow. What a great invention.
Nice.
So just I have one of those in my car. It's my emergency pipe. Wherever I go, I make sure I always have a pipe with me.
Send it to me.
So
just kidding.
I'd love to. But I bet you it'd be cheaper for me to order one from a shop in BC and get it shipped to you.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
So
speaking of which, I am going to go have a puff. So
because
I can't smoke inside, so
we'll see you in a bit, buddy.
I'm gonna piss off for a couple minutes. So I'll just turn off my camera, and I'll.
If you decide to join from your phone, we'll bring you in. It's no problem. So
somebody mentioned
minion
rubber, but this one's made out of silicone, and he's just funny as fuck. He just makes me smile every time I pick it up.
I need one of those.
That makes you productive.
The vulcanized rubber
you smoke enough out of that pipe, you start talking like him.
They do have a little metal screen that pops into the bowl, but that's the only part that's metal. All the rest of it is rubber.
This one's all glass. This one has like a glass bowl that just pops out. You can clean really easy, and you can swish the inside of it.
That is nice.
Yeah, and it's silicone. Doesn't same properties, right? Doesn't heat up, doesn't outgas, doesn't do any of that stuff.
I'll be back.
And you can probably do the same thing and throw it in the freezer when it gets filthy, and just after everything gets frozen, pop it and everything falls out of it.
You know, what a wonderful tip. I'm going to try that.
It'll work great.
Usually I just
as long as you're not worried about the silicone when it gets really cold breaking.
No, I don't think silicone does. No, it's got a really great temperature range. They put that shit on the space shuttle after all, so
there you go.
Get hot and cold.
All right, I'm going to put this pipe away.
Well, so we're looking at a field. I guess this is this lovely environment that you're in.
This is an open canyon that,
Wow.
yeah, our room sort of goes down to, and we haven't put the fence up yet, so still looks kind of nice.
That is very nice. So it basically all pretty private, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it's
Big hilly range in the background.
I don't even think you can see my closest neighbor.
We don't get that here.
Oh yeah, you can kind of see a bit of their house over there, maybe.
Trivia tip:
Yeah.
Prince Edward Island has the lowest population out of any province in Canada. Currently, we're sitting right around 157,000 people.
Okay.
But yet we are also the most densely populated province in all of Canada when you actually look at the size. So it's actually hard to throw a stone and not hit a neighbor here.
I knew you're east. I didn't know you're in PEI though.
Yep. So this pipe's an honorable mention. It's beautiful to look at.
Look at that. It's shiny.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, a friend was cleaning it one time and broke the inside of the bowl, so it's really, you can't use it anymore.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
It's just an honorable mention. The same thing with this. It's another just absolutely beautiful, well done pipe. Look at all the fucking little glass baubles and stuff on that.
Oh, look at the colors on that.
Right.
That's amazing.
So
It looks like
same thing.
Looks like Venice glass.
Yeah. The same thing though. It got broke down here at the bottom of the bowl, so it's just no good anymore. So
yeah, I'm too clumsy for glass. That's why I was showing them earlier. This one has a glass bowl, but it's made out of rubber, so you can just
yeah.
Yeah,
the little glass piece looks pretty sturdy too.
Oh yeah, it's quite thick.
I was talking about this bubbler earlier.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if,
we heard the bubble.
Right. This is the really big one though, right? It's got a double chamber in here. Unfortunately, this piece right here is really fucking hard to keep clean, and the inside of it's hard to keep clean. So I stopped using it a while ago, and I really should invest some money and get some of the good cleaner and try and clean it up a bit. But
can you flush those with bleach, or is that bad for them?
Oh, not bleach. No, bleach should leave a taste in it that you just.
Okay.
Right? Anything that didn't come absolutely clean, the bleach should still be stuck to it, and then anytime, like especially with a water pipe, that you would taste the bleach.
You don't want that for sure. Yeah,
so
I do mine with denatured alcohol, and then a like an air blower, or some people even use like an air compressor.
Oh, okay.
And they'll stick
one
end of the pipe after soaking it in denate.
I could go find a few more if you want to.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting seeing all these.
It shoots out little weed marbles, Yeah.
So you've seen changes in the pricing there because of the way the lab testing stuff goes.
Yes, because I think the industry matured in the wrong direction.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably. They had no regulations, and then they slammed the regulations in place.
Oh, they didn't bring them gradually.
Huh?
Okay. They didn't bring them in gradually. They just put them all or nothing all at once.
It was all or nothing all at once after the industry had been running ticky-boo for 12 to 15 years without lab testing, Because when you don't flush your plants properly, when you spray nasty stuff on them, a lot of the time you can taste it. And when you can buy it literally anywhere, you get more and more discriminating, right? And you won't buy stuff that tastes a little bit moldy or soapy or weird,
Yeah.
And it is definitely a plant that can be affected if you put a bunch of stuff on it and then don't get it out.
Okay. Yeah. Hey,
but when it's grown indoors, there's almost no need for pesticides, right? So as long as you're buying indoor stuff, that it's not been sprayed with anything, Yeah. Again, it was doing okay on its own. That the consumers were actually keeping it somewhat honest, right?
Okay.
But as the prices went down, that's when they were starting to talk about regulating it, and they should have just left it alone.
So I know that it's not legalized federally in the U.S. Unless, correct me if I'm wrong there, but if it's not the case, where do you think things are on the roadmap for that in the U.S.? Like, is there a plan to eventually legalize it all over the U.S., or the politicians just don't care?
As far as I know, it actually came up as in a recent session of Congress, and there was more support for it than not. There is always going to be that, maybe that good old boys holdout club, but there are way too many people with tobacco interests in our government that are going to want to benefit from it. So I think that they're slowly pushing the tide towards that. But again, federally legal and then what? Federally legal and regulated? Or, because it's not the way it is right now where it's so regulated, it's not really legal. Not on the growing end, not on the production end, and not on the consumer, end user. Everybody is sort of getting screwed in a round table. So,
Do you?
Yes, I'm still getting more.
Oh, great. Do you think there might be some traction on that in the next 5 or 10 years, or do you think it's going to take longer than that?
Like I said, I think it made it through Congress.
So it's
how long is it going to take to get through the Senate? I don't know, but I think it did make it. I think it made it through Congress with 2/3, which is all they need. Or maybe it was just 51 or 52 votes. I can't remember whether it was just over half or. Because they have different rules, right? It's 2/3 for really serious stuff, but then sometimes it's just a majority vote for other things.
Okay.
But as far as I know, it's now going to be counted through the Senate. But, if they federally legalize it, they need to legalize it. They can't say, well, it's federally legal, but private citizens can do it. Only Philip Morris can. Yeah,
I know that would be. I'm sure people are going to cry foul on that for sure. So
look at that. You guys only got glimpses of those. Then I take it as I was moving all those in. Just looking at my camera angle.
That's okay.
All right,
you're going to give us a good show here now.
So let's start with the only concealment one that I have. Do you see this right here?
Hello, Nicholas. Here.
Just a piece of wood, right? But you turn it like this.
Hi.
And spring loaded in there is that little cigarette, right? And that pops out. And look, that looks like a cigarette, right?
Wow.
And there's a little slot right there that you put weed in. You go like that, you pack it. It's a one hitter that you hit it.
Yep.
Like I said, it looks like a cigarette.
And that little wooden thing has a formal name. It's called a dugout.
Something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah,
but
it's
anyway,
called
it was a really cool pipe that I bought way back just so I'd have a pipe to take with me. That was concealment.
Nicholas, thank you for joining us. Sorry, just a sec. Welcome.
Hey. Yeah, I'm actually Nidamos.
Oh, Nidamos. Okay. Now I know who you are. That's great. Great to see you here.
Good to see you.
So whereabouts are you, in the U.S. or another country?
I'm in Ohio.
Ohio in the U.S. Okay. What are your thoughts on the legalization of marijuana? And
let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it. I like that answer.
What does 420 Day mean to you?
Please don't say Hitler's birthday. Please don't say Hitler's birthday.
No, certainly not. No. So funny memories. I have just random things that have happened to me on 420 that actually I wasn't smoking, but other people were, and it made for some good stories. So,
okay,
yeah.
I see a lot of art behind you. I guess behind you there. You draw a lot of art, I guess.
No,
Marvel.
I don't draw
That's
it all.
Marvel.
These are coloring book pictures.
Okay.
Those are all Marvel too, by the looks of it. From what I can see.
They are. Yep, that's the general gist of it.
Well, Ollie was just in the middle of showing us some
paraphernalia.
Show and tell, yes. Show and tell.
Yeah.
So I just finished showing you the first concealment one. Here's my smallest pipe. It's a little. I don't know exactly what it's fucking carved out of. It doesn't feel like wood, but it kind of looks like wood.
Yeah, I noticed
Could be
that
some sort of
a lot of these have a lot of art in them. Like people have put a lot of work into making these really nice.
Oh yeah, when I was looking for a pipe, I was always looking for something that kind of looked neat in some way, So
Okay.
and then I upgraded and I went with, well, that was a cool looking pipe. Look at cool, nice colors, and it's completely total square, right? So the bowl's on the top here. It's the same as the grenade, where there's a shooter hole at this end, and you breathe in through that end, right?
Okay.
So, and then I found this diamond pipe too. It's such a beautiful blue color. Looks like it's one of those crystals from Superman, right?
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what it looks like. It's one of those crystals from Superman.
Or a kyber
become-
crystal from a lightsaber. Yeah.
Could be that. Yeah, it could
there
be
you
that
go.
a little big. Yeah.
The
So
spirit of Zod compels you.
and then somebody gave me this little tiny pipe at one point in time. Nice, neat little colors, and it's a tiny little pipe.
Neat.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then I have two of these actually. I have the other one's in my disc golf bag, and it's the exact same as this, except it's got a twist in it, so the glass is twisted. But it's basically looks like just a little whistle or something, right?
It looks like a kazoo.
So kazoo, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you. And then there's a lot of pipes that are typically shaped something like this, right?
Okay.
I think everybody's got one of those.
Yeah.
And
And
a lot of those.
here's another one, but this one's got kind of like a nutsack on it, right?
I've seen a lot of this kind of shape on a lot of these different places selling marijuana. They have a lot of these kind of pipes available.
Same pipe again, but just with like a drill symbol or shape to it, right?
Oh, okay.
And then this one right here, it stands on its end like that, right?
Oh, neat.
Fully erect.
So, and it's basically the same shape. And then this one says Cheech and Chong on it. And if you look at it, it's got little twists in it, and little twists in it. If you pictured this as white paper, it looks just like one of the big joints that they used to roll, right?
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking. It's still a grenade shotgun effect, right? And as you can see, it's gotten lots and lots of use. So
it's a familiar shape. Cheech and Chong are famous.
yeah. So I've shown these ones earlier, but here's the guy giving you the devil's horns,
Oh yeah.
So
Nice.
devil's horns pipe, and there's the grenade pipe, right?
Yeah, I remember you showed us this one earlier. Now, pulling the pin is it functional or the
No,
the
hell no. It's all glass. So all these pipes are glass that I've shown you, except for the one that were wood.
You still blow yourself up.
Yeah.
With the grenade.
Remember this shotgun one with the dragon inside of it? That's always cool.
That one's amazing. Amazing.
And I love this one too. That's one of the ones I used to use all the time. So
With the line on the front. From the side, it's clear to see the lion's mane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See the lion's mane from the side, yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful, these things. It's just amazing what people are doing.
So, now off to some of these ones over here. So this is, I don't know if you can see it there, but there's a bubbler going down through the middle of it. It's a typical shape, so you're supposed to put water in it. And it's got a lizard shape on it, so I've always called it the gecko, right? It's got a lizard shape on it.
Okay.
Right, so this one right here, this one right here reminds me of a judge's gavel.
Oh yeah, like Neil's got a really long judge's gavel looking one too.
So so it's once again, it's like the one at the alien pipe earlier. You can put like 2 grams in that bowl right there. And the thing is, the size of the shotgun on the side of it. Look how huge that hole is. So you hit this thing, and then when you let go of it, that whole bowl empties in an instant. You just get hit with all the smoke at once. So not only does it look like a judge's gavel, but it hits you like a hammer. So I call it the hammer. So
it can be pretty intense with that one, then I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I retired it a long time ago. It's hard on me now. So this one's another water pipe. So it's another Sherlock shaped water pipe. It's got a flat bottom there, so it stands.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you fill out the bottom part with water, and there's a spout in the middle, so it cleans the weed when you're smoking it. So.
All right.
Here's another one that's the same type of idea, another bubbler. So it's another really
kind of like a fish on the
beautifully
side.
colored. Does it look like a fish tea on the side? Maybe, I guess. You're talking about that?
Well, when you had it turned
Oh,
differently, but yeah, the orange one sticking out the side. Yeah. Yeah. See, that looks like a fish.
oh, this here, the swirl. Yeah, I guess it kind of looks like a fish. I always look like a swirling water or something to me, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like the look of the pipe though, like I said.
Yeah, it's interesting. Got nice contours there.
Here's a smaller one. Go ahead.
What do you keep all these in?
I used to have them out on display back when I lived up in London, but since I moved home, I really don't have them on display. Just because I don't have, I have more room, but I don't have the room. I don't have the shelf space to set them out so that they're on display that I had before.
Okay.
So
like you need more shelves.
like I do. I mean, I got bookshelf, junk shelf, and no, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, so this one's
Randolph, have you heard of the people in London that grow weed in the middle of traffic circles? They pick out these traffic circles that are overgrown, and they sneak into the middle of them, clear out a spot, and grow about. No, I'm not kidding you.
He's talking London, England. I was talking London, Ontario.
Oh! I was talking England, but yeah. It's just...
So how are the police in England handling that?
Or not?
Well, they have to, I guess they have to regularly search inside some of these traffic circles or whatever. But some of those roundabouts are really huge, and they're just horrifically overgrown. And the cops, I don't think, want to bother half the time.
No, they don't care. They're busy enough as it is, I'm sure. Oh, that's funny. Like guerrilla planting or something. That's like guerrilla warfare.
Yeah. You can only go for it, right?
How they do it in places where it's not allowed,
Take a lesson from those places.
No,
I gotta go, guys.
We'll find a way.
What just happened?
Or something, I guess.
My dog has been ill and
Aww. Fair enough.
I hope everything's okay. It's hard to hear you, Ollie, man. So.
I think I know what's happening. It's basically like me when I've had too much Panera coffee. You gotta go.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought he said something about his dog. So.
But for the dog.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The dogs are like that. Yeah. They require a lot of work, but it's worth it. They make great pets.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They need the attention. 3 walks a day is good for them.
Mm-hmm.
My dog ate some greasy food over at my parents' place on Saturday night, and she's had the diarrhea ever since. So,
I told you, I nailed it. But now I gave too much information about myself.
Join the club.
That damn hazelnut, just
the damn Google Meets using my real name instead of my screen name on YouTube, which is what I thought they would do because they're linked together. But of course, no.
I don't care.
This surprised me too. Sorry about that.
I don't think most people do, but Christ, if it wasn't for the fact that I had this fucking rock star name that it's, got all of the notoriety with none of the benefits. No sex, no drugs, no money, just one name that you can type into the U.S. Census and say, there is one person with this name. And they...
Mine's probably pretty close to that too. So,
really,
I'm Mr. Demons. So,
you pronounce it demons. Oh yeah, demons. Yeah, because the E is before the A.
Yeah, there's not too many of us.
Yeah. Well, there's only one of me in the whole world, as far as I know, and it sucks. Cool. Oh no, I hate it. My stupid. Be
unique. Be awesome. Stop it.
Gave me this horrible name. And the moment that I wanted to change it was after my mother died, and they're like, no, you can't do that. You're about to, deal with, probate stuff. You can't change your name now.
Oh, that can get complicated.
Right? And now that the probate is over, they're like, you can't change your name ever. Because all of your, it's not possible.
What happened to freedom of expression?
Yeah, what happened to freedom of privacy? Thanks, Mom.
Wow.
You got to be your true self.
I
Whatever that means.
could be my true self as Janet Robertson.
Why that name in particular?
Huh?
Why?
Because it's really plain, you know. I don't know. I guess I could be Jennifer Smith,
There
and
you
that's
go.
even more generic. But you know, I would be okay with like Heather Brown or Jane Robinson, or you know.
Come and knock on her door. We've been waiting.
Was that Janet Robertson? That was Janet Robertson, Three's Company. Uh-oh. I'm challenging late 70s sitcoms, folks. I'm going to be aging myself pretty soon too.
Because I have no clue what that's about.
1980s sitcom. Oh yeah.
I think it was the first time in a mainstream.
I was kicking my
sitcom
mom's
that-
uterus when that was out.
Yeah, well, they featured a gay character in there, somebody who was at least pretending to be gay, and that was very edge. That was considered very edgy for 1978.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. Yeah. John Ritter was a funny man.
It might have also been one of the earliest shows to portray a single man living with single women at the same time.
Yes. Yeah.
Almost sounds like you're talking about Three's Company.
We were talking about Three's Company.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. Situation comedy all the way on that. Yeah.
I've never seen a single episode of it. I know it's a show.
Yeah.
But that's it.
It was
It didn't
popular.
age well.
Yeah. It was popular in the 80s.
Oh, lots of shows from decades prior have not aged well.
Yeah.
You guys ever watched that?
Comedy actually would still be funny today. I don't know if there was anything in there that was like all that.
Well, a real life. What the hell's his name? Giggity, the neighbor. Quagmire. Larry upstairs was basically a real life Quagmire. Right?
Larry upstairs. Okay.
Both the Ropers and Don, whatever his name's characters, were racist real bad. Right?
Okay.
I don't remember the racist part, but I was really young. I wasn't that old.
Well, it was because it was in San Diego. It was against Spanish people, right? So it wasn't the normal racism, but it normally associated, but it was the same.
Yeah, the way some of these shows, like there was still bigotry coming through on some of those shows in the 80s. It was unfortunate. It's things have gotten better, but I think there's still a ways to go.
That's basically what I meant by it didn't age well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that part cut out on my end. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay. So Nicholas,
Yes.
glad to have you here. It's great to put a face to the name now.
Instead of my little animated character that sometimes.
Your animated character looks great too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yes.
So, would you like me to continue or no?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
All right.
There's more.
Oh, fuck yeah.
A lot.
This is a double chamber bubbler. So you put water in this chamber, you put water in this chamber, right? So you pack the bowl here. So it filters and then it filters and then you smoke it.
Okay. Does that change the taste of it significantly?
Not really.
It just looks really neat.
Yeah, basically.
It's tricky.
Basically, it keeps globs of brown crap from ending up in your mouth.
Yeah. So this is another one. This is a Z pipe. That's the brand name, but it's another one of those ones that's got a pipe going down there. So you put water in it. It's a bubbler.
The way you're holding it, the way you're holding it like this kind of looks like a fishtail.
So it's meant to be some sort of stylish Z. It's Z pipes. They always put this weird kind of design where it's got these hooks on it.
Yeah.
Right? So, here was my first experiment with a vaporizer. So that's a wooden pipe. So you would take your weed and you would put your weed in there, and then you would put this cap on the top of it, and there's some sort of stone or something that's in there. So you put the lighter to that stone, and the stone would only get so hot, so the flame would never get to the weed. And the whole way that you vaporize weed is you burn it at a much lower temperature, someplace around 200 degrees or so, instead of the flames temperature, which is 450, 470, something like that for a fire. Okay. So that's the whole way. So it doesn't burn the weed; it just kind of heats the weed and separates the chemicals, and then you breathe it in. But honestly, this was a failed design. It never really worked that well. So, but I tried it. It was one of the earliest ones. And then I got this, and I fell in love with this pipe only because of what it looks like. It's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. Look at
Star Wars.
Wow. Right. So basically, with this pipe, it's a water pipe in here. So you put water in there, and you would electrically heat the weed here, and you would breathe it out through here. The weed would go through the water and then come up out through it. Right. So, but honestly, it clogged right away immediately. It was one of the most useless designs. So,
I just went and crashed Vice Rhino and V LaBianca's stream.
Oh, great!
Nice.
okay.
Rhino
So-
gave me a wrench. I'm now wrenched
nice.
on Rhino's channel.
Hey, congratulations! Yeah.
Back when I used to smoke cigarettes, and then I'd smoke hash, you'd do what's called bottle tokes. So you take a little tiny piece of hash, put it on the end of a cigarette, and then you'd put it in this bottle, and you put the cigarette in through there. The hash smoke would fill up the bottle.
How to do
and then you would
drugs
smoke it.
with Canadian Olyman.
So, here's another bong, right? It doesn't have the
Holy
guts
fuck.
anymore. It all got broke, but it's just another bong that's been hanging around for years.
You should start a weed channel on YouTube.
Here's a hookah. So I
used to
actually
smoke
have
hookah.
a real hookah. This is I had a cousin that went over across, and when they came back, they give this to me. So,
As a layperson, I wondered, like, the hookah looks a lot bigger. It's got this hose and whatnot. What are the significant
It's a hoser.
differences between the hookah and the bong?
it's basically a big water pipe where everything filters down through here. The real reason hookahs should exist, they're really meant to have multiple people smoking them. You're supposed to put like tons of weed or
That's the
something.
one I've
whatever
done
it
with
is you're
like
smoking in
8 different fucking.
here.
Or
And
shisha.
then you have a whole bunch of different people that are all hitting it at the same time. So it only gets lit once. It never really has a chance to go out because everybody's hitting it. Right. So it just keeps
So with
going.
bongs, you have to keep relighting them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you're smoking it by yourself, yeah.
All right.
And your
that's
name is
really it.
Rodney Dangerfield.
What? Rodney Dangerfield.
And the guy to your left is Bernie from My Three Sons. Hi.
Oh.
Hi, Wesley. How are you?
Just kind of, I'm okay, but you guys have been bad boys, and you're going to be sent to your rooms, and you're going to get spanked really soon, and it's not going to be a pleasant spanking. It's not going to happen in a snap of a finger, but it's coming.
Oh
So,
my.
I'm wondering
here's another one of these wedge shaped pipes.
Oh, cool.
Right?
Colors on that.
Oh, it's like, fuck you. I'm
Have
talking
you
about.
have any of you poured a glass of liquor into a glass today?
Nope.
Or a
No.
juice?
Liquor,
or
no.
tea or
Beer,
anything?
I can't drink.
I asked Jesus Christ to turn it into water one time and only today.
Uh-huh.
Did it happen?
So, no.
How did that go?
Well, no one's going to tell it because it's from Jesus, of course. Duh.
So,
Hey, what do you think of the legalization of marijuana? What are your thoughts on that? Sorry, just a sec, Oliver.
I used to smoke a lot of pot when I was younger, and I regret it. It's sorcery.
Really?
It's deceived. I came up with a fictional story. Yeah, 2 guys are doing bong hits in their apartment, 3 stories up in Chicago, while a woman's being raped in the street below them, and the woman's screaming for help, and the guys stick their head out and they go, "Hey, you want a bong hit?" That's the way I look at it.
Oh,
That could happen with anybody. Why would you blame that on the weed? Alcoholics would do the same thing. People drinking, whatever.
Well,
people on crack, any of those
yeah,
other things.
it's
Right?
a vain imagination. I used to smoke it, so it's judgmental for me to condemn it, but it's sorcery. You do what you want to do. There's nothing I can say that is going to change you guys one way or the other. But I'm not for it. I'm against it. So.
I'm like, when does the sorcery part kick in? Because I've tried and I can't get shit done.
So Neil, I think Wesley, are you a Christian now?
Well, I'm a man of the earth.
Okay. What does that mean?
Means I was born here on the earth. My mom was born here on the earth. I'm born here on the earth. You know, I'm susceptible to all the. You know, I'm an evil man. I've done a lot of evil things, and use the Jesus Christ forgives me more as an excuse to do evil than to try to stop from doing them.
Right.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Well, depends on the people, I suppose.
Yeah.
Well, that's the way it looks. When I'm doing evil and saying Jesus, 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 the way it would look to somebody is that, what a bunch of bullshit that guy is. So
I think when people have, like, even people who are drunk, you have people who are happy drunks, people who are angry drunks, people who get violent when they're drunk, people who just can't get enough love when they're drunk and give out enough.
I love you, man.
Yeah.
I have a few beers a year. Last week, I took a week to drink a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon. I'd have one or two glasses in the evening every couple of days. So I'm not saying it's wrong, but that's how much I drink. I drank maybe 8 beers last year. So,
well, I think it varies from person to person. So, it boils down to who the person is and how they're going to deal with things and how they're going to react to things. And I think, like, I have trouble getting on board with you, although I've never smoked any marijuana. I've never tried it. I've never tried the oils or anything like that. I don't oppose it. I support people making informed decisions, of course, when they go into these things, and then using it responsibly, whatever it is, alcohol, weed, marijuana, or something else.
Of course.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. So, and that's fine if you're opposed to it. That's you've got your reasons, and it's. I just caution you because you've seen some people act very badly, and that they represent themselves, not necessarily represent everybody who uses the same things that they use.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had a serious drug problem for 20 years. From the time I got out of college till till I was about 40 years old, and it was very serious and very destructive and very killing of relationships.
Oh, yeah.
It was just pure hate and self-service and pleasure seeking, and I overcame it. And like I said, I'll have maybe 8 beers a year, but I'm very. I know that there's nothing I can say that is going to stop me from doing drugs. So I'm not going to even try that. But I'm going to say I believe it's sorcery, and I say it's wrong. So, but you're going to do what you're going to do,
And I think what you're telling us is important, though, because you're talking about an experience with using it became problematic and quite destructive. And so in a way, this could be hopefully helpful to people to say, hey, look, if I'm going to do this, I should be responsible. I should know what the consequences are. And then that way other people can avoid going into this kind of thing. If you had used a lot less of it, do you think the results would have been different for you?
And may I ask a question just before you get going? Can we clarify what you mean by drugs that you had a real serious problem with? Because if you just mean marijuana, that's marijuana. But if you mean other more serious drugs, that's a different issue too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So. It was never heroin, but it was marijuana and a lot of crack.
Ooh, that's the one.
Well, there you go. That's so crack and marijuana are just so totally two different things. It's
totally different.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it was so bad. I was was homeless for 10 years in Chicago.
Wow.
I'd draw caricatures for $20 candy bars in fancy restaurants, and then run over to the projects at Cabrini Green and buy my crack, smoke it in an alley, pretend I had 50 women wanting to fuck me, and then suddenly a sniper appears on the rooftop aiming his laser beam sniper gun at me, and I'd freak out. So I'd run out of the alley, and I'd do that every day for like 10 years.
Oh,
Wow.
man. Good to see that you're away from that.
Oh yeah, it's been about 10 years.
Everything.
10 years since I touched the stuff.
Awesome.
Those snipers ruining everything, I guess.
We'll have to hire a sniper to take care of that sniper for you.
Anyway,
Sniper on sniper action.
the spanking is going to be. There's 32 submarines that are from China that are on their way to America.
Hey, Nicholas, thank you very much for joining us. It was great to have you on, and I hope to talk with you again.
Oh yeah. Feel free to ping me.
Sorry, just a second.
Yeah.
Sure. 4 Russian submarines off the east coast.
Wesley, hold on just for a sec. So, Nicholas, do you have a YouTube channel you'd like to let people know about before we go, or anything like that?
Yeah. So I've been doing
Mike's
reflective.
Nobody.
Oh, I'm crackly. Oh, hold on. Let me switch my mic. 1 second. Is this better for now?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I do have a YouTube channel. It doesn't have a specific link because I only have 22 subs, but I do reflections on conversations on a sign that I take around in public that says it's okay to be an atheist, and I invite people to ask me anything. And so sometimes I try to recount those experiences and talk about the content of those conversations, as well as I do cheesy takes on pastors and preachers I follow, and my deconversion experience is on there, as well as
On my
some
channel.
other. Yeah, well, that's on Neil's channel too. He's got them all. So yeah, that's what my channel's about, and I'm trying to find other different things about becoming an atheist and skeptic to cover and talk about on my channel that a lot of other channels don't cover.
Well, there's atheists, and then there's the angels of Jesus that are in the flesh on the earth, called similitude, that purposefully goad, purposely do evil to try to, as a thing to get people to give love for their evil, and they're ceaseless in doing their evil, and they're having fun. It's called Charged with Folly. So there's that.
Anyway, so I'm off, but thank you guys so much, and have a high and wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
May the grass bless you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was great. We'll look forward to talking with you again. Have a great day.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. So, well, Ollie,
So this is the only high-tech piece of equipment that I really have, and it works great.
okay.
It is a vaporizer as well. So this whole thing is mainly a battery, and right at the top here, there's a titanium bowl at the top, and it's showing you the temperature that it's up to there. I don't know if you can make that out or not.
Wow, that is high
It's 200, right?
It's a digital thermometer that lights up, huh?
Yeah, you can turn it on. It automatically turns off after X amount of time. I got to watch my dog here. Just in case
Okay.
she decides she wants to go
Why is
back
he getting
out.
into your stash?
No. Like I said, she's been sick since Saturday, dude. She's been having the dry heaves and the diarrhea. So, but anyway, like I said, so in there is where the bowl is. This is just a glass flute, and this end quarter is where you put your weed. So you just slide that into the bowl. The bowl gets heated up, and and that's all you do with that. And it's a vaporizer because it's only going up to 200, 205 degrees, right? So I am blurry again. Let's see if I can fix that.
Wesley, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on. Carry on, Ellieman. Yeah.
Was it though?
So questionable. But anyway, like I said, I paid like $300 for this thing. And this was before legalization. I bought this. It's a nice thing. And it's sold to you under the cover because not only does it come with these glass flutes, but it comes with another glass piece that you can pack with potpourri. So you can set it up so it aerates an area of potpourri.
Oh,
So
multi-purpose.
that's what the description was that you sold it as. But the head shop that you went to buy it is, here you go. This is the vaporizer you want to buy.
Okay.
This is how they legally sell it. So that was
okay. I see. Yeah. They have to. I've heard of that sort of thing before.
So, but it's a really cool device. I've had this now for about 6 years.
Okay.
And
it can flip between metric and imperial temperature measurements.
Probably. I don't remember those instructions. Probably, but I don't remember where those instructions are on it. So.
Yeah, well, that's great.
You can alter the temperature anywhere from like 120 degrees all the way up to 222 degrees. 220 degrees. 120 to 220.
I like the digital readout on it. That's great.
Yeah. So and the other thing too is once you do a little bit of research about pot, if you want to get the CBDs out of pot, you only want to smoke the pot at around 165 degrees.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
If you
quite precise then and get exact.
Yeah, so you can get the exact temperature on this one exactly. So if you want to get the stronger cannabinoids and the THC molecules, you burn it up above 200 degrees.
Oh,
You'll still get all the CBDs too, but the thing is, you'll also get those. If you want to try and avoid getting the THC stuff, you just burn it at the lower temperature.
Yeah, you'll still get some of the THC, but it won't be nearly as much.
So anyway, but that should be
so if you
turning off.
So Ollie, since we've been going, have you had a little sample off of each of the pipes you've shown us?
No, not all of it, dude. I just sold like 50 pipes.
Yeah.
So no, but
What's your point?
The first 7 or 8 that I showed, yes, I've been hitting all of those. The other ones all got cobwebs and shit all through them, dude. I'd have to clean them before I'd ever want to hit them.
Or you've got the one that has the dragon in there that can't be used because it's all clogged up because of its design.
I used it once. I used it once tonight. Yeah.
I saw that. It's like, ooh, that's cool.
Some of them can't. They don't work because and one of them was retired, and there's one that's too strong. So.
Oh yeah, it just hits like a hammer.
Yeah.
You do one hit off it, and it's like you got such a big lungful, you're coughing for 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's quite a collection you've got, Ollieman.
Yeah, I've had other ones that have gotten thrown out because they were broke. Like I've probably had 5 or 6 various different types of Gandalf pipes over the years.
Okay.
These are the biggest ones I've had. Like the ones that previously weren't quite as big as these, but yeah. So I remember the very first Gandalf glass pipe I got. It was beautiful blue color, and it was like, oh wow, it looks so cool. I started smoking it. The very first day I started smoking, I was like, what's going on? And I realized, oh, somebody just dipped it in that, you know how they do that paint stuff on the outside of things where they dip it in the water and stuff?
Okay.
Somebody just did that with it, and it all started coming off, and it just peeled off the whole damn thing. So it ended up being a clear pipe, but it still worked for a while after that. But it was the very first one I bought. After that, I always made sure I spent a couple extra bucks, made sure I got real glass that was stained, instead of getting something that was just colored with some sort of other material. So, oops. I spilled smashes on my desk.
Well,
I'm still going.
Oh, you've got more. Great. Let's take a look. How many more have you got? You've got
ain't going nowhere, guys. I got another 50 pipes I'm going to show you.
I think I'm out of pipes that I could get at easily. I know there's another box in the back room that's stored that's got more broken like that in
We
it.
should do another show on the rest of them.
I would have to find that box, dude. I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah. So
and that back room is like an episode of Horrors. So
yeah.
it's not someplace I really want to get into. So
you're keeping your best stuff handy.
Yeah, no, all the good stuff is out. All the good stuff's out. You didn't see 2 more of my big bongs, but that's because they're on that shelf buried in behind a whole bunch of stuff that it would take me 5 or 10 minutes to move.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah, I know what that's like. It ends up getting accumulation of things.
Yeah, it's exactly it. Like I got a beautiful red one that's over there that I bought. I called it the Teacher right away. It's this tall glass bong. It's about like that tall, right?
Wow.
It's all red glass, and it's frosted, but there's cutouts in the frosting that are all the shape of skulls and crossbones.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
So it really looks so cool when you're looking at it. So,
Oh, that'll be great for Halloween too.
yeah. So,
well,
although
hey.
this one works just as well for Halloween. This one's got demon faces and skull and crossbones.
Oh, look at that! It is kind of pumpkin color theme and everything. Green.
Oh, yeah.
Orange.
So, it's a cool.
Ollie, man, I'm jealous. I have like 3 little piece of shit pipes, and you've got this.
Dude, you live where they all came from.
Do I?
I'll be honest with you. When I lived up in London, Ontario, there was a flea market 5 minutes away from where I lived. So I'd walk down there every Saturday afternoon, and there's hundreds of little booths set up in there, and like a third of them all had glass pipes. So you'd walk along and you'd see a piece that you'd like, you'd see another piece that you'd like. You say, I like those two, I might be back. And then you go wandering around, right? And you'd find a whole bunch of different pieces, and you'd come back and say, how much are you going to sell that one for? And you'd basically say, okay, who's giving me the best deal? And you buy 2 or 3 pipes off one guy one week. Then the next week you'd buy 2 or 3 more pipes off a different guy. And they saw you walking around. They knew you were spending money on pipes every week, so they were willing to give you deals.
Every time you come in, they put all the best ones up front. Oh, here he comes.
No,
I
think all the best.
See, I got him before you guys.
So, I remember there was one that I wanted to buy really bad, and I wish I had spent the money on it. But they wanted like $180 or $200 for it at the time, and it was shaped like an X-wing.
Oh.
It was like,
the trigger.
I should have. Well, at the time, I was living paycheck to paycheck, dude. I really didn't have any extra money.
Yeah, I've been there.
I was paying child support to my ex-wife and stuff like that. I just did not have the extra cash. So, but and I found another one. There's a lightsaber that's for sale right at the place that's in town here, but they want fucking $450 for it, and it's not that good. And because
crack or what?
Well, the other thing too is it's a solid glass piece, so you can't take it apart. And the battery is already dead that lights up the light that's in it because they've had it there for so long.
Wow.
Right?
You change the battery.
You can't change the battery. There's no way to get at it to change it. All you can get at is the button to turn it on and off, and that's it. That's the way the glass piece
That sounds like a design flaw.
Yeah, I agree. And like I said, the glass piece itself, yes, it looks like a lightsaber. It doesn't. It looks like a short sword lightsaber that's really fat.
Yeah.
Right?
I totally would too. Well, wait, no, I actually do smoke weed. Never mind, Air. Air says I would start smoking weed if I had an X-wing pipe.
Yep. Yeah. Like I said, I wish I would have bought it, but then I didn't, and then the next time I couldn't find it again.
Ollie, John Hudson says you're his new superhero.
Cool. I appreciate that. I am the stoner king because I can smoke anything.
Says all this paraphernalia is bringing back memories. Paraphernalia. How often do you get to use that word?
Not very often anymore.
Jesus would own a gavel pipe. The freak is cracking me up right now.
The gavel bomb.
I had a gavel pipe. Did you see the gavel pipe that I brought out? It looked exactly like a gavel.
Yeah, that's what I had too.
So
the one I was showing off earlier.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the wooden one you got does look like a lot like a gavel.
Totally does.
Yeah, it looks like a very long one.
Yeah.
I was commenting earlier to Neil that a judge could have one like that on the bench and totally get away with it. Nobody would say anything. It really does look like a gavel. Yeah.
The one I got to invest in and get, if I can get my hands on it, is the bowl. So it looks like a big cereal bowl.
Sweet, I love cereal.
There's a big, on one end there's a little bowl where you pack your weed, and on the other side, as part of the handle, because it looks also kind of like a big coffee cup type bowl, right? There's a handle, but the handle has a spout, and that's where you hit it. So you hit, and you can have the bowl packed with, and be hitting your breakfast at the same time as you're eating your breakfast or whatever it is you want, or your ice cream, whatever you want in the bowl, and then also pack a bowl. It was the best pipe. I'd love to get one of them. Was I too stoned when I explained that?
That's the craziest fucking thing I've ever heard, I think.
No, you've
Hey
never seen
kids,
that?
now you can smoke your weed and eat your breakfast cereal at the same time.
At the same time. Yes, that's exactly what it is, dude. I bet you you could probably find a picture if you just searched on Google for
Oh, I'm sure I could.
pipe bowl. All you have to do is pipe bowl. I bet you that
Pipe
would find
bowl?
pipe
Probably.
bowl.
Randolph's on it right now. Randolph is literally the meme king. You say something and he's putting like 19 memes that have to do with exactly what you said.
Yeah, my collection is about 41,000 memes now, and it's just it's a lot.
Ridiculous.
But I have them indexed so I can find them fairly quickly. And
You index your memes. That cracks me up.
Really.
also that I can find them and present them on streams that I'm a guest on. So
I know.
I'm not set up to present them here right now, but maybe in the future. But
I think that's the funniest fucking thing. A meme filing system.
There's some great ones in there, and I love the idea of memes because people are able to share more perspectives with it. And it just makes the internet so interesting. And
some of them funny as fuck, too.
Guys, I really, really appreciate this. Thank you for making this stream so great, for being part of all this. And Feather, thank you very much for being a part of this. I appreciate it greatly having everybody here and talking about these things. And we even had an opposite perspective come on for a little bit there with Wesley. And so I guess we were kind of more well-rounded than we expected.
I found a picture of it by doing cereal bowl pipe. That's what I put in. And it found a picture of it right away when you do that.
There's a presentation option. We can try that if you like.
So you want me to try and share a picture? I don't know.
Yeah.
Right down to where there's a little screen with an arrow on it.
Yeah.
Down below there.
Yeah, near the bottom. There's one there, next to the one with the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Not the red one.
No, you'll hang up.
That's okay. We can always bring you back quickly. But this has been interesting, and I learned quite a bit about the difference between bongs and hookahs, and got a lot of great perspective from Neil at the beginning on this stuff. It was wonderful.
And I flashed my jugs.
Hey.
What?
And I flashed my jugs of weed.
Oh.
The glass jugs of marijuana.
That must have been when I was walking down the hallway or something.
Yeah, that was great getting a showcase of these products there. That was fantastic. And we saw your dog jumping around before you went off screen there. It looks like your dog's very happy. So.
That's how he eats his dinner, actually, because he eats too fast. So I have to give it to him one piece at a time, and he likes doing backflips. But what was happening is he was getting impatient and he started barking, and I'm like, oh, okay, now you got to go back inside. You can't dirty up the audio.
That was funny to watch.
I don't know. It's just giving me select the window or screen, and it's not letting me select the
okay. So you have to open in a window and then share that window. But that's
Whatever
okay.
you do, don't use your credit card. You might disappear.
No, I'm not using my credit card or nothing.
No worries.
Now, won't let me turn that off either.
Another time, then if it's not coming up, this is kind of my first time doing streaming with this software. Overall, I like it. I think it's just a shame that they cut the time off earlier and ended my stream early. So, there we go. You got it.
So,
okay.
Do you see that? See that purple bowl right there?
Okay,
Wow.
so the bowl you were talking about.
Right. Is it showing you this purple bowl?
Yes, it is.
It
We're
is.
seeing your whole browser screen and the other ones on the left, the whole Google search here. So this is the breakfast cereal one you were talking about.
Yeah. So there's a different look at it.
Oh, okay, totally transparent. You can see the food inside, or that's not food.
Yeah.
That's not cereal.
Yeah, that looks like milk and cereal. Yeah, that's what that looks like to me.
Wow. Yeah, it does
Right,
look like
so
that's the smoke, right?
That one's definitely cereal.
Yeah. Fruit Loops.
Right.
Oh man, now I want Fruit Loops.
There's that clear one again, though. Right, just with nothing in it.
Yeah, that looks really professional the way they presented that one.
There's a slightly different design in where the bowl is.
Wake and bake.
Yeah.
So M&Ms or something in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So you're wanting to get one of these, I guess, is what you're saying. Something like
I would love to have one of those. I guess I could just order it and then I'd have one.
Just
how do I stop sharing? Stop.
Yeah.
There we go. Hey, that worked really slick, actually. Okay.
I just had to pick a screen to share, and then I had to pop that one out first because they were both on the same screen.
Our pictures to the side, so you got the big part of the screen. That was really good. So everybody was still part of it. Yeah. Okay. Well, again, thank you very much, everyone. This has been a good long stream. I really appreciate everything. Aliman, do you have a YouTube channel or anything you'd like to talk about before we go? Or no?
You can find them on my channel.
Donate blood.
We'll get to
Donate
Feather.
blood.
Was there anything you wanted? Any final thoughts you had before we close down the stream here?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Let's not drag it on.
Well, thank you very much. How do the dogs react when they encounter? Have you ever had a dog encounter some marijuana on the ground, or a jar of it or something? How do they react?
I mean, they don't. It's not edible to them. The one thing that you have to watch out for are actual edible cannabis products, some of which can also have artificial sweeteners in them, and that will flat out kill your dog. So.
But
Yes.
Yeah, there was this whole veterinary article came out going, oh, if your dogs eat edibles, it'll kill them. And it's like, yes, chocolate is really toxic to dogs, and xylitol is really toxic to dogs. Cannabis, I don't think it's particularly harmful for them, but I think that was what was actually killing the pets, was high concentrations of dark chocolate and xylitol sweetener.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I've actually used it to cure thunderstorm phobia in dogs, to be honest with you. It actually works really, really well for that.
That'll be the indica type then.
Yeah, usually a little bit of the sleepy stuff, but we had a dog that would literally chew through a door to get out of a house when there were fireworks going off, and we completely cured her with this stuff. So
Oh wow. Wow, what a wonderful impact for the dog for that. It'll help them relax through it.
Well, what was really funny was
my dog.
we gave her quite a large dose, about 3 or 4 hours before the fireworks would traditionally start. And the first year, she would lift up her head when she heard the explosions, but the panic was just absolutely gone. And then the second year, we gave her a much smaller dose, and she slept through the whole thing. She didn't even lift her head or react. And the third year, we're like, let's give her nothing. And she was fine. So.
Yeah.
Wow. That's cool.
She just had to get used to them, right?
Just needed to go through it once.
There was something else that was going on, because this dog was really panicked, and it was any explosion, any loud noise would send her into a terror. And she would not recover. It would, it was a really shaking panic, and like running into walls scared. Really, really bad.
Wow.
No, and she was entirely cured of it after 3 years, 3 exposures. We never gave it to her outside of that circumstance.
Yeah, and it's been a lasting effect ever since, hasn't it?
I think it has something to do with the fact that cannabis is actually hypnotic. And that, she must have had something, really felt good while she was on it, right? And while these explosions are going off, right, she's hearing them, but she feels good. It disconnected her from her panic. And it only took 3 practices before it was just completely gone. And I've never seen that kind of a reversal of gun shyness or gun panic without medication in a dog. When they have it, they usually have it bad, and it never gets any better. So
that sounds so promising for using marijuana to help dogs,
There's a lot of mixed results on the CBD. A lot of people give that to their dogs, and some people say that it's like a miracle, and other people say it does nothing. So
okay.
Yeah.
Like what I was saying to Wesley earlier, it depends on the individual then.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's something that I never gave it to client dogs. It's something I only did with my own animals, because I didn't want to, it wasn't an approved therapy, right? So you wouldn't ever do that. It was only for my own panicked sad rescue Labrador that she suffered so much on 4th of July. We were like, well, we got to try something.
That sounds like the right policy. Yeah.
Well, we used straight tranquilizers before, and they didn't help.
Yeah.
Her adrenaline would punch right through them, and that's the problem with using tranquilizer. Is that?
Oh.
Yeah. Their adrenaline can actually work as a counter agent against the trank and just knock it right out of their system.
Huh.
And then you can overdose them and give them too much, and it's very, very dangerous. So, yeah.
Well, so I learned today that the difference between indica and sativa. Thank you, Neil, and a lot of other things. I've seen a wonderfully wonderfully diverse variety of pipes and bongs and a hookah. It's been fantastic.
Well, you got to meet my minion anyway. I love that
awesome.
thing.
And I've also learned that marijuana can help dogs. Some dogs.
It's not anything that I endorse because there's not enough research on it, but it was one thing that I did with my dog 3 times. And then again, it was never needed after that. So
that's why I corrected myself, said some dogs. I'm trying to be in line with that.
Yeah, gosh.
Right.
Yeah, no, please don't try this at home, folks. Don't give your dogs cannabis.
I think that's fair advice, and that's really a good thing to say. It's not known yet.
Yes, CBD has been deemed safe for pets, however. So CBD totally fine, but watch out with THC products. Some people are saying that may not be safe.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Thank you, Feather. Really appreciate your wealth of knowledge on this, and it's wonderful having you join us in this and be a part of it. I really appreciate it. Neil.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, pleasure. Everyone's invited, and so glad you're here. Neil, you're the reason, you're the main part of the show, and I thank you again for being here. I know you have a live stream tomorrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can tell us a little bit about what's coming up for you, and we'll final out in the live chat, as well as it being in the description.
Sure. Well, tomorrow night I'm chatting with Oz's Aunt Kathy. That'll be at 5 p.m. Pacific time over on my channel, which is Neil 604 Atheist, or Deconversion Stories with Neil 604 Atheist. And coming up on Saturday, I have I think it's sister-in-law, or related to ex-Gen Erin. You know her, Randolph.
Sorry, say that. You faded out on me. Could you say that again?
Ex-Gen Erin.
Okay.
From here in BC.
Yes. Okay.
I'll be chatting with her. I think sister-in-law, Stacy.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, and that's the next 2 that are coming up, and I'll be back again on Tuesday on the 26th with Stax Roche. So should be interesting few shows for sure.
Oh, so you got somebody for Tuesday next week as well. Great.
Yeah, I do. I still need a Thursday though, on the 18th.
Okay.
Or sorry, 28th.
Yeah, so thank you very much. Anybody who wants to look at Neil's YouTube channel, the address is youtube.com/Neil the 604 Atheist, and you will find his series of deconversion story videos there. Again, thank you everybody for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in the audience who joined us today, and other people who were here earlier and participated as well. I look forward to running another one of these fireside chats in the future. Good night, everyone.
Okay, cool.
Take care. Now I just need to shut this down. You can tell I'm still working on the expertise part of this, but we're getting there. Let me see here. Content, live stream. And here it is. And I can end it here. Let's see where we're at. Oh, that's not the control panel. YouTube's interface has a few things that could be a little better, I think. So anyway, thanks again, everyone. And have a wonderful evening. And have a great 420 today.
They call me Mellow Yellow.
Butter it.
Just butter it. Only million. Are we off now?
I don't know. Are we on? I only see 3 of us in this. When was there only ever 3 of us in the stream?
No, we're still live.
I think we are still live.
Yeah. And now they're laughing at us.